Hi everyone, Nikki Harrison here. We are going to show you techniques for using one light, continuous lighting only. And right now we have built a little set in studio to look like a room. And this frame appears to be empty, however, it will have a picture in post. Before we get into this video with our model, I wanted to really briefly just share with you what is in my bag. Believe it or not, this is the simplest one light setup you could possibly imagine. There's all of these brands for modifiers that you can use with your Reflex and your Reflex S lights. Now for this particular shoot, I'm not going to use the battery that you can get with the Reflex or the Reflex S. And the reason for that is because I do have my power cord attached to it. And when I'm using continuous light in studio, I prefer to use the power cord because then I don't have to worry about the battery running out. I like to save my batteries for when I'm on location or outside. And of course, just the StellaPro Reflex S. All I'm using with the light is an Elinchrom adapter on my Mola Demi beauty dish. And my beauty dish, I use a white grid instead of a black grid. I want to focus that light, and that's it, guys. One light, one beauty dish, and that is all. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but wait until you see how simple it is and how incredible the images are. Let's get into it. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the Reflex S. For this setup, we're just going to use continuous lighting. And using a mirrorless camera, I shoot Sony. I use A7R5, and it's great because on the back of the camera, what you see is what you get. So I start off typically by dialing down my ambient light and getting it to the point where I really want it, and then I bring in my continuous light and dial it up until it's perfect. And I'm using Capture One today to tether, so I'll be able to show you those shots as we go. This is Asha, and she's our model for the day. So we are going to make some pretty pictures, and let's get into it. I'm shooting with the 50mm f1.2, and I'm shooting at f1.2. So what you want to do is make sure that you don't have your continuous light turned on just yet, and adjust your shutter, whether that's up or down, until your ambient light is exactly where you want it to be. So after you get your ambient light set in your camera, you come over to the Reflex S and whatever light modifier you're using, and you start dialing in the light until you get it where you want it to be. And again, like I said, when you are using continuous light, pretty much what you see is what you get. So the whole goal with this particular look of this portrait is to create a really simple yet painterly look to these images. And Asha is a professional, so you've noticed that I don't have to direct her at all. This is not the kind of light you can get with a flash or a strobe because it's just too bright, too powerful, too flashy. But with continuous light, you can dial it in or dial it out. For instance, I can reduce the brightness of this light and get a more kind of moody look to it. Just down about a stop and a half of light. And now it's a little more subtle. You can see just like that. Okay, we've added in a puppy because look at how beautiful she is. Who wouldn't want a picture of a puppy? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus the light a little bit more. I'm going to change the direction. And now it should be better. Okay, so I'm looking in the back of my camera. It still looks a little too bright from this perspective, so I can just dial it back just subtly until it gets to where I want it to be. Meow, where's the chicken? When we have dogs, the best thing is a chicken. And a puppies. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to change our subject from a sitting down position to a standing position. So when you do this, you have to make sure to raise your light up higher because you want it kind of up and pointing down sort of at a 45-degree angle. So you lift it up and you can look at your subject and see. Okay, once again, the focus of light. Look at the back of your camera and I will show you. Guys, it doesn't get easier than this. This is so easy, like so easy. Continuous lighting. One light lights the whole subject so perfectly. The room looks beautiful, looks perfect. I highly encourage you to give it a try. Beautiful. So that's the StellaPro Reflex S, only using the continuous portion, and one beautiful model, one little set. You can do it too. Thanks for watching.